All right. Welcome to Ethereal Collection presents the Blueprint right here on redmediaradio.com. We have an amazing guest today, Karen Lebron, right?
Yes.
Uh, she has done so much. I've had the pleasure to actually be at one of her events, no, a couple of her events. I think she's very inspirational and very motivational. However, I'm going to let you tell the Red Media Radio family a little bit about Karen.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me. This is fun. I'm really looking forward to our discussion today. My name is Karen LeBron, and I own a group travel company called Passport Envy. And it's a little bit different than your normal travel agency. I began with doing events, and now I've morphed and I do events. I was doing local events. Now I do events internationally.
Oh,
And what I like to do is bring people with, and let's do our event someplace exotic and beautiful and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I started out with doing fashion shows and things like that, helping to produce them, put those together. And now I would also put together photo shoots. So the big thing that I do is get anyone interested that's in the fashion industry, that's models, photographers, designers. Let's get together, let's go someplace fun, some destination, and let's do a show, let's do a photo shoot, let's just, enjoy a little bit of getaway, a little bit of work, a little play, and that sort of thing. And that's what I facilitate.
that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Wow. Where's your next trip? Because I know you're always planning. Where is your next trip?
Actually, in about 3 weeks, I'll be going to Punta Cana. There's a photo shoot, a designer, and a magazine. So we're doing a photo shoot. We're going to get some models and photographers together. The designer's going to bring her clothing. We're going to do a full-on shoot.
Mhm.
And we're going to have a little bit of fun while we're there. I definitely want to play. I don't want to just work. But so we combine it a little bit. It's a little bit of fun. And what I do with my background in fashion, I can see places and think of things to do. With my background with travel, I can make sure we get to those places. So
Wow.
it's a bit of
Wow.
a marriage, and I'm enjoying it.
Well, I need you to tell us the name of the company. We're gonna go through all of your links and everything else. So, what is the name of your company?
So the name of my company is Passport Envy.
Okay.
So my tagline that I like to say is anyone can book a trip, but we create Passport Envy.
Okay. Passport Envy. That's what's up. Show those stamps. Show those stamps. Now, tell us a little bit about your background in fashion. That's how I kind of met you. So,
Right.
could you just share a little bit of that background because I think it's very inspirational. You've actually assisted models and actually reaching that next level with your guidance. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. I started out with Lehigh Valley Fashion Week,
Mhm.
and we worked together for a few years, and I learned so much from the owner of Lehigh Valley Fashion Week. Shout out to Suri. But she taught me so much, and I still go to her, and I'm always trying to learn.
Mhm.
There's never a lack of information out there, and with people working together, you can always grow and learn. But that's where I kind of started out with the fashion industry, and then she and I actually got together, and um, we did a fashion model competition.
Mhm.
So it was a blend between a model competition and a beauty pageant. So she and I would work with the models. We'd gather them together. We had different divisions. The best part that we loved about it, it was inclusive. So we had 4 categories. We had the petite, because you can be a petite model. We had the curvy. You can be a curvy model. You don't have to be 6'5" or whatever and size 0. But we did have a category for the runway models. And we also had a fitness category. That was fun. So, the fitness girls can get in on the action a little bit. So there were 4 categories. So we kind of did that for a little bit alongside of the Lehigh Valley Fashion Week. And then kind of 2020 hit and things kind of went a little crazy and things, events, as you know, just kind of stopped. But what it did with the work with what we were doing, it incorporated travel because we had to go to national competitions, international competitions with our winners. And I caught the travel bug. It was like, I'm organizing this stuff already. Why not get paid to do it? It's simple enough that I was able to put it together and blend it. And that's really where I ended up becoming. It just keeps morphing and morphing, but it ends up where I do now these destination shoots to help models and photographers and their editorial shoots. Sometimes they're designers, just to help them build their portfolios and get them to the next level that they want to go to.
Yes, that is beautiful. And we look at the word that you use, morph. You started off doing, now you've got passport envy. It's a wonderful idea for, like you said, models and photographers, designers, even magazines, to actually go out there and have fun. We're outside again, okay? No matter how much people want to deny that, we're back outside.
Yeah, we are.
and you've got to take advantage of things like passport envy, okay? Especially if you're in that industry, that fashion industry, that model industry, the photography industry. And I like that whole all-inclusive thing. I think it's very, very important. We had an interview a couple of weeks back where we actually spoke to someone who actually is a network guru. And a lot of people get left out. That's been like a discussion. The curvy models, they find it that much harder. The petite models, sometimes it becomes hard for them, depending on where the designer's mindset is. And you found a way to not only make it a fun experience, which is always important, an amazing experience, but, you get to stamp your passport. I've seen some of your stuff. The rates are very reasonable. They're very affordable.
Yeah.
But not many people have the opportunity to plan out something like that. They may have it in the back of their mind, but you've taken a hammer and said, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. What I want to do is I want to take a very quick break, okay? And then we're going to jump right back in and we're going to talk about how Karen has thrown her hat in the ring to motivate others, those that actually look up to you sometimes as a mentor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
All right, you got it.
Ethereal Collection.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.
Ethereal Collection, the fashion line inspired by Red Media Radio.
Okay, we are back at Red Media Radio, presents The Blueprint. The Blueprint is about people that's making it happen. You're definitely one of those people that's actually making it happen. Through the trials and tribulations of the last 2 years with the pandemic and everything, a lot of businesses didn't survive because they didn't do that thing that you said, they didn't morph. And you found the agility to say, okay, listen, I'm still going to follow my passion. Okay, and I'm going to actually make it into a business, an endeavor that I can be very pleased with. But here's the thing, you bring something of value to people. You bring something to the table. Can you just, the last destination trip that you actually had, do you mind sharing where that was at? Maybe some of the experiences.
So the last trip was recently, maybe about a month ago. We went to Puerto Rico.
Ooh.
So Puerto Rico was amazing. Oh my goodness. It's a whole nother world. It really is. You don't need a passport to go there. So it's open to anybody and everybody. Even though I'm passport envy, but it's an option. And I wanted to do Puerto Rico because they've just been going through so much after Hurricane Katrina. They've been trying to get their tourism. And I just want to be able to, I want to do a trip to Puerto Rico every year. I want to be able to contribute to the tourism industry in Puerto Rico. And I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born there.
I get that.
Yeah. So that's where my heart is, and every time I leave, I'm like this crazy woman on the airplane crying because I'm leaving. But the last trip was Puerto Rico, and we had an incredible group of models and photographers that came. I gotta tell you, you thought we didn't know each other when we first arrived. That first day, I always like to do an initial meet and greet that evening once everyone's arrived and the planes all arrive and everything. We didn't know each other, and by the time we were done, we were brothers and sisters. We will always be in touch. We're still in touch with each other. Some of them are coming with me to Punta Cana. They were like, wherever you're going, we're going. And, when's the next one? And I'm constantly getting, when's the next one? When's the next one? So I'm planning and coming up with new places. But the experience for them, and I have a Facebook Live on that I will be doing that will explain them talking, the photographers talking, just to talk about their experiences. So pay attention to.
Yes, please send us the linkage. We'd love to share that. We'd love to share that on our page, such as radio page.
But yeah, I mean, Puerto Rico was amazing, and the models, like I said, we have a sister and brother to each other, and just all worked very well together because the goal really was, yes, we had some fun. Yes, we took dance lessons. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but they worked their butts off. Let me tell you, it was the one day, I think it was since about 7 a.m. until almost 4 p.m, where it was just shoot. Next location, shoot. Next location, shoot. So they worked hard, but they played hard too, and the pictures at the end of all of this are phenomenal. I mean, just amazing pictures.
That's beautiful. I think when people are enjoying, they have that passion of what they're doing, it actually transfers onto the image. And it's good that you keep that balance of, hey, we're going to play, we're going to have some fun, but at the same time, we're going to get this done. We're going to make sure that we get this done. With models and photographers, I'm sure that many of them look up to you as a mentor. I mean, do you find that often? I'm quite sure your phone rings off with a hook, all day long with questions and can you advise me on this and should I do this? How do you handle that as a businesswoman, but still keeping those connections?
Well, it's interesting that over the years, I've developed friendships with people in the industry. So if it's an industry question, there's usually someone that I know that can probably answer the question. I can maybe steer them at least in the right direction. I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form in the industry, but I know a lot of wonderful people that I feel that they are. So I've referred people and helped facilitate some networking. I end up being everybody's mom somehow. So I'm more of a mom, which is a mentor also.
Right.
But I've been told I'm a very good listener. Okay. And sometimes, especially when you're young and you're just starting out and you have questions and you're not sure, sometimes you already know the answer, you just have to work it out. And a good listener can help with that. And I think I'll give myself that. I think that I'm a good listener. So in that sense, I feel that there's a little bit of confidence in what I'm saying. And and what they're saying, and we'll work something out together.
Right, right, and that's beautiful that you know. I mean, in my mind, that still being a mentor, you've made so many connections through the years that now you have the capability to say, okay, I don't know the answer to that, but this person I know definitely will know the answer, and you know that's a valuable asset to be able to do that. Many people can't even do that. They say you go to the library or look it up online. But you built all of these connections through the years, through your careers, through your morphing, through your changes. Um, do you feel, if you had to give one bit of advice for the new and upcoming model, and then we're going to switch to photographer, what would be that advice?
Well, my biggest advice that I give to models is decide whether this is a hobby or if this is who you want to be and what you want to do. There's a big difference. If it's your hobby and you're in a show or you do a shoot here and there, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's everyone's personal preference. Sometimes you do it for fun and you've got great pictures that you'll show your children and your grandchildren one day.
Right.
Others take this on as a lifelong goal. And if that's the case, my advice would be invest in yourself, invest in your brand, find a mentor, and give it everything you've got.
Yes, yes. No, no turning back once you decide that this is your life.
Yeah.
And you brought up some really, really good points. The first point is find a mentor. You know, a lot of people think that they can jump into these industries that have been around like forever and think they know everything. You don't. You know, even I find myself, you know, I have a mentor, a person that I speak to, you know, to get advice, to make sure that I'm on the right track, to make sure that I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes our egos get in the way and we think we know it all, almost like teenagers. Teenagers think
well, that's
that,
okay. It's the old saying, iron sharpens iron.
Yes. Yes.
So even if you have someone that's I have accountability partners.
Okay.
So we go back and forth, and did you this, and you said you were going to do that, and I know you
Yes.
were frightened to do it, but did you do it, and what are you gonna, the steps, and on top of each other. I have accountability partners, and if you can't find a mentor, at least find someone that has, even if it's in a different industry, because my partners aren't in the same industry as I am.
Right.
But we're business, and we're business people, and we're entrepreneurs. So I always liked that phrase, iron sharpens iron.
I love that. I love that. I might have to steal that from you. It's a beautiful thing, and it's so true. Well, what would you deal with a lot of photographers? What would be your advice for them? I mean, as photographers.
Oh boy, I don't know that I would venture to give advice to photographers other than almost the same thing. If this is what you want to do for fun, have fun. Don't stress about it. Just do what you're going to do. But if this is who you are and you want to be, and this is going to be your brand, protect your brand.
Yes.
That's number one that I can think of for a photographer. Protect your reputation. Because that's something that, especially in this industry, that gets around very quickly. So protect your brand, protect your name, protect your reputation.
Yes, yes. You know, one of the things that you did mention was learn your craft. About the models, it's a continual climb to educate yourself, and things morph and change, and you have to be willing to sit down. I mean, would you agree to sit down and do some of the learning work? You know, I have like a hard drive filled with training videos that I actually go back and look at every once in a while, because it's a never-ending journey. There's always something, you know, to make yourself unique and different. You have to put in the due diligence to make your brand, because we all are a brand. It's not the fancy logo, it's you. You dictate how people view your business. And, you know, from what I see, what you're doing, it's a wonderful thing, you know, because you're the face of Passport Envy. You know, the words that you say reflect your business, that is Passport Envy. What are some of the things that you see that you would like to see in the industry change? Your industry, there's not, you have kind of a niche industry, so
A little bit, yeah.
you got no. It's very different, and I love that. Most travel agents, they book to family vacations and romantic getaways and stuff like that. You've actually added a twist to that, which means since it's decidedly different, it will grow, and that's what all business owners want. But with that being said, and I've lost my train of thought. With that being said, no, because I'm just sitting up here in my mind thinking about, wow, passport envy. That is wonderful. What are some of the things that you would like to see as far as the fashion and travel industry? I'm sure there's certain hurdles that you had to figure out.
So one of the things that I've also done and would love to do more and continue to do is everyone knows about New York Fashion Week, mm-hmm. but there are a lot of other fashion weeks that are fantastic. There's LA Fashion Week, Miami Fashion Week, Paris, London. That I've actually I started putting together. I would like to see that grow more. I would like to see more of us at these international shows.
Oh,
I want to see us. And I know you know what I mean when I say
I know
us.
that all Black and brown people, we need to represent.
I want to see us there. So that's what I want. If that was your question, I'm not sure if that was what your question was. Yeah. I don't know. But that's what I want to see. There's more out there besides New York. There's more, and the opportunities are there for us. And we have such an incredible talent mm-hmm. that we can share. And it doesn't have to be all one thing. And the best thing about, I think, our people is we are inclusive. Mm-hmm. We are going to use curvy models. We are going to use the runway models. We will use petite. We will use what works for our brand. And being inclusive is really what works.
Yes. And you know what? You're right. We need to go out there and travel, get outside, travel, and go to these different destinations. Is that becoming as far as, it's a wonderful, great idea, and I know you're going to put it into action. But is there hurdles that need to be overcome, or is it just the conversation to make people understand, hey, listen, you're spending all this money anyway. Let's go here. Let's go sit out here for a week.
The hurdle is getting people, their mindset to that level. Mm-hmm. The mindset, as you know, is the biggest part about us. Mm-hmm. And as a people, as a person, your own self, it's your mindset. Yeah. And thinking outside of the box and thinking about a bigger box is hard for most people to do. So that's honestly my biggest hurdle is someone will say, well, I want to do this. And then I'll say, yes, but then there's this. And they're like, whoa, I didn't even think of that. And I'm like, yes, let's go there. Let's go there. Let's hit the sky, ceiling, the moon. Let's just go.
Yes. That is, I think that you're helping change the conversation. Like you said earlier in the broadcast, you people saying, hey, listen, wherever you're going next, make sure I know because I want to go. So you are starting and I guess honing the conversation to make that happen. Mm-hmm. It's for our, I'm going to say because it's my radio station, for our Black and brown people, I think that we need to actually make the world stand up because we spend a ton of money on all of this stuff. Maybe if more of us showed up in the audience, maybe designers would say, hey, listen, they are spending money. Let me go ahead and market to their group as well. Let me include them in my marketing campaign. And until we have these fast conversations that you're starting, and making people realize, hey, listen, we're a force to be reckoned with. Yes. We are a force to be reckoned with. And you got to show up to let people know. You can't just sit at home and look at the commercials and say, how much do I got on my credit card? I'm going to buy that. You have to let the industry know I'm part of this industry. You will respect me. Does that make sense?
It does. To let them know we're here.
Yeah.
We're here. And we're not separate. We're part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and with that being said, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to jump right back in, and we're going to focus on the future of Passport Envy. Does that sound like a good way to go?
Sounds good.
All right, let's go. Back at the Blueprint, presented by Ethereal Collection right here on Red Media Radio. We've been talking with an amazing woman, the owner of Passport Envy. She actually sets up destination trips so that photographers, models, magazines, designers, they can all get together, they can network. And one of the wonderful things is, like you said, there are now lifelong friendships that have come out of this. You know, the networking aspect is so important in this business. And at the bare minimum, you're teaching these people how to network. At the highest level, they are getting an amazing experience, and that's beautiful. So, what's on the books for Passport Envy? What is the future plan? Please, I'm not signing an NDA, so only share what you're willing to share. Because I know you got big plans. I know you. I
do, and I'll be announcing them as they get finalized. But the big picture really is more shoots, more destinations, longer shoots. Right now, we do maybe 4 days. I want to see us out there. I want to see more photographers come out. I want to see more models come out, and we'll go to a resort and we'll take over, and I'm okay with that. Like, just be shooting left and right and taking over the whole resort, and I'm okay with that. I have no problem with that. Move out of our way. We got things to do. Like, that's really what I see. We'll be going. Right now, I do the Mexico and Caribbean, but I am expanding, and we'll be going to Greece.
Okay.
We'll be going to Dubai.
Yes.
We'll be doing also Morocco. Those are my big three that are coming up very, very shortly.
Oh my God. Do you have, what is your bucket list trip? Everybody has a bucket list trip that they have to do. I know you're going to do it through Passport Envy. What will be your bucket list trip?
My number one bucket list trip is Egypt.
Oh my God.
And I'm going next fall. I'm doing it.
You're crossing.
I'm not wasting any time. I'm going.
Oh my God. I want to see all the images because that is one of my bucket list places.
Yes.
That in New Zealand. Yeah, I'll probably die the first week. I'll probably get bit by something and just die eaten by a wild.
But you went. That's what I say. At least you went. You tried it.
But you know, it's wonderful because we live on this planet, and you are opening up, I guess, different experiences to these young models. Do you have a lot of new models, or all your models are established?
Actually, they range. Some are new, some are seasoned, and want to change it up a little bit. You know.
Okay.
They're editorial photo shoots, so it's not necessarily what it does is it gives you experience.
Right.
Because then you can say, when being asked, have you ever this, have you ever that? You can say, yes, I have. And I happen to do that in Mexico. Like, you know, that sort of thing. And I've got pictures to prove it. But, you know, just have an experience that they wouldn't get otherwise. You know, there's plenty of local, beautiful places locally to where we all are, where you can take pictures, but there's 100 other models in that area taking the same picture. Right. You want to be able to do something a little bit different. You need content for your social media. You need something different that's just gonna, you know,
Right.
get you where you need to go. And that's what these things do.
Right.
And also, they network with each other. Some models have reached out to others and said, hey, listen, I got a gig. It's in, it's in Daytona, but I worked with you and they need another model. Would you be interested? And poof, they both got jobs. And, the one didn't even know the other beforehand, but they meet each other and share experiences with each other.
That is beautiful. The networking, the growth, everything. I mean, it's like a beautiful cake, and you're putting the icing on top because you're facilitating all of this. Again, a very niche industry. And that's a beautiful thing. A lot of people say, oh, I'm niche. No, that's great. That means that you're doing something that no one else can pull off or accomplish. With that being said, I'm sure let's start sharing website information and social media information. Can you share some of the places that you would like for these people to at least say, hey, listen, this could be a wonderful experience for me? So the Passport Envy, is it just passportenvy.com or?
It's www.passport-envy.com. That's my website. And I have, it's Passport Envy on Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay.
And if there are models or photographers that are interested in the Facebook group where we share pictures and we share experiences with each other in the group, that is actually called Destination Model Shoots. And that's on Instagram and on Facebook. And it's a group where everyone can post. One person may have just done a fashion show. Well, if they don't post it, I'm going to post it on the group. I want us all to cheer each other on and encourage each other in this group. So
I love that.
Envy, and then there's Destination Model Shoots is the Facebook group.
Okay, what I'm going to do, since this is audio, I'm actually going to, when I do the video aspect of it, the podcast aspect, I'm going to take all those links and put it up in the description so people can actually visit those. Passport-envy.com. I'm going to suggest that you go immediately and check that out to figure out where you might fit in and what value Karen is actually bringing to you and your brand. That's an important thing that we do here at MediaRadio.com. Everything is based on bringing value to others, and this is the reason why we like to sit down and talk to amazing people like yourself, okay, so that they can bring value to others. Passport Envy offers that and so much more. If bare minimum, you got your passport stamp, bragging rights. At the high end, you can actually show people this is what I did while I was in this location. We live on a beautiful planet. If you don't watch the news, and there's so many different places that stand out. There's pictures that
I want to see it all. I really do. I want to see it all.
It's beautiful. There's a difference between taking a picture in the local park and in front of the Sphinx. There's a huge difference. Or any other, or in the rainforest, or any place. You're helping models, photographers, and designers stand out, with their brand. And again, it's affordable. It's not like you're working on the James Bond set and you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to get over to this location for this 5-minute shot. No,
and I do it that way because I can. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, these models are starting out, they're young. They don't got that kind of money. And I don't need, that's just the truth.
It's realistic.
I'm not trying to kill anybody. I just want to give them an experience. So the good thing is that I try to plan them out far enough in advance so that just, little by little, they can make their payments. But
you do that too? Wait. You do payments?
Yes.
Oh, that
always.
That is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, always do payment plans. My heart is with the models. They really are just a big part of my heart, and I just adore them. I love working with them, and I know they're gonna have to, just split it up a little bit, and I'm okay with that. That's how I set up my business.
that is beautiful because it does allow the new and emerging model that doesn't have, liquid income at the drop
Right.
of a hat, but they really want to do something. So you plan it out ahead of time so that way, hey, here's the payment plan. You at least up front,
Right.
exactly what you're spending. You got to do a couple of hours and do a couple of more photo shoots, then that's what you have to do. And that's wonderful. I don't even think there's a lot of travel agencies that do that. There's a lot of travel agencies that just want the money right there, and
The good ones know better.
yeah,
I'll just put it that way. There
yeah,
are good agencies and agents out there, and
right,
most of us will do payments as long as it's, you give yourself enough time.
mhm,
You can do payments with an agency.
right, right. I have to ask this question. I don't want you to take it the wrong way. With the growth of Passport Envy, once again, I'm not signing an NDA. You're doing destinations and that'll get around the fashion industry. Are you seeking to capture other industries as well?
What do you mean you said capture?
Yes, other industries. Because right now, Passport Envy, niche industry, at the base, it's a travel agency. It's a beautiful travel agency. But at the base, it's a travel agency. Are you going to expand that vision? Not so much like you're forgetting about the fashion industry, but just to expand. Every business wants to expand. Do you have your sights on another industry that you want to include into Passport Envy? I mean, is that making sense?
I think so. My heart and my pet projects, I guess I would say, are the destination model shoots.
Okay.
But we also do. I've done destination weddings. We do
Oh,
family reunions. So I do branch out, and that's the big part of what Passport Envy does as well. It's group. I have a couple of partners that I work with, and one of them is like a Disney specialist. I'm
okay.
certified in Disney, but I'm certified, but I can't say that
Okay.
I know everything. But she
Okay.
does. So sometimes there's a huge family that just, all the cousins, the aunts and the uncles, they all want to get together and do Disney. Well, I can give them to my partner, and then she can take care of them. But
Right.
we do that. We'll do groups. We do weddings, family reunions, bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, and that sort of.
Okay.
But my pet project has been the destination.
Right. No, and you know what? At the end of the day, I definitely wasn't trying to take away from that because I'm still amazed at the amount of value that Passport Envy brings to the industry, the fashion industry. But
Mhm.
I think it's important for people to know that as a business owner, you can facilitate other things as well. And again, with that affordability, with that whole, hey, I'm going to make it right for you. I'm not going to bleed the bank. Um, I think it's important for our listeners to know, hey, listen, I may not be a model, but I'm coming up on a huge family reunion. Is this the person to contact? Can
Right.
I contact Passport Envy? Can they
Yes.
facilitate this? So
Yes.
I wasn't taking away because
No,
I
I
love
understand.
what you're doing. I
Yeah.
love what you're doing. That's passport-envy.com. I'm going to say if fashion is something that lives inside of you, that you definitely check them out. However, with her partners, with the company itself, there are other options. You'll never know until you start the conversation. And I
Right.
believe the easiest way to start the conversation is to visit the website, passport-envy.com, and see what is available. We're always nothing but love for you. Nothing but love for you and what you do. The first time I met you and I saw that what you were doing with young and up and coming models, I was amazed. It takes a lot of it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of empathy. It takes a lot of, hey, my goal right here is to help you succeed and get to the next level. It's not about me. It's about me helping you get to where you need to be. And I love that. I love that. Any parting words that you would like to share with the Red Media Radio family?
Really is just the travel is back. It is definitely back. Don't be afraid to travel. There are so many things out there, and let's just go for it. I say go for it. I'm so sick of being in the house. I need to I'm so ready to just travel all over the world if I could, but that's really is just even if it's just your backyard, even if it's the town next door or the state next door, get out a little bit and enjoy this world.
And converse with people. We haven't been doing that. Stop sending instant messages. Have a conversation. It's. I want to thank you so much for being on Ethereal Collection Presents the Blueprint. This whole interview has been very inspirational to me. To see that there are still people out there taking their dreams and passions and saying, "Hey, I can bring value to you. I can." At the very least, I can give you an amazing experience, and I love that. We want you to stay in touch with us. Let us know everything that you're doing. Feel free whenever you're having an event or something like that. Post it on the Red Media Radio Facebook page. So that people will know and understand that. Hey, listen, there are options out there. There are options out there for me to get ahead without the companies that's going to bleed you dry and nothing. At the end of the day, great experience, lots of photos, portfolio looking nice, and you make that happen.
Yeah.
You make that happen. Well, I want to thank you for joining us, Karen. We're looking forward to having you again. Let us know your next moves so that we can sit down once again and talk about those. How's that sound?
I will. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. So you've been listening to Karen. I am Red, and you've been listening to Blueprint. You already know. Love you guys.